Coach, you got a lot of praise for the offense the other night. How important is Maddie to the game plan?
Maddie is a key part of everything we're doing. So we have lots of different versatile pieces. So just still figuring out where everybody fits in. But love her, just her general energy. And then when the court is wide open, it opens it up even more for her to cut and put pressure on the rim like she does.
You got JJ some early minutes. I'm guessing you were not surprised by her performance.
No, not at all. I think we knew what JJ was capable of, and we're hoping that she can continue to show that, but was just super excited for her that it came together the way it did.
You know, Paige's ability to command the pick and roll, it's pretty rare to see how good she is at such a young age. What does that do for this offense, just to be able to open up things?
Totally. The game is slow for her. Usually if there's a transition period, and there will be at times, to where, you have to just continue to work at it, and then eventually it slows down. But the pace at which she plays already is just different. So we're excited to have that on our side.
Why do you think she's so good at the pick and roll? Is there anything that stands out about that? Or?
I think credit to her and how she approaches the game and how she approaches life in general, just with her balance of the work she puts into the game and then the work she puts into her mental approach and being present. That helps her to be in there and let things slow down and be able to read and react in those moments. I think it all works together.
How impressed were you with JJ after the game?
One more time?
How impressed were you with JJ after the game?
Oh, yeah. Again, those were the expectations. I wasn't surprised. Those were the expectations. We know what she's capable of. So I was more than anything just extremely excited for her to feel some of that success at our level right away.
What was the focus of today's practice based on Friday's game? And are you ready for this coming game?
Let's not talk about the coming game, but we're trying to pull everything we can out of this past game. So the messaging was happy 1 week. First off, we've only been together for a week. So still understanding that we need to have patience and then challenging them to have a little more urgency as well. So I think you saw from that game, all sorts of slip-ups, right? First game, nerves, everything, just at times it didn't look like how we wanted it to look. So challenge them to still have patience and at the same time have a little more urgency into things that were in our control. Players are going to make plays, things are going to happen, but we can be better in the details. So I loved how we responded today in practice.
This is your debut as well. What's the biggest lesson you took away from game one?
That I have a lot to learn, and I felt myself get better each quarter, and as every game goes on, I will get better in really feeling out the flow of game, what players need in moments, what I need from my staff. So there's a lot that needs to be felt and lived before everything kind of gets rolling.
Coach, we noticed that the small ball lineup was a lot of success the other night. Will we see a little bit more of a smaller lineup at big times, I guess you should say?
Yeah, well, again, we're exploring right now, right? This is the exploratory period. So we love the versatility in all the pieces, and we want to be able to play in a variety of ways. So I was excited at how the floor looked and some of the opportunities we were able to generate with some of those smaller lineups. So we'll continue to look at it.
I know you talked about JJ and Paige already, but just talk about the rest of your rookies and how they performed in their first professional games.
Yeah, well, Isaiah was a spark right away, right off the bench. She was instant energy. And I was just really impressed about how our rookies took what we're teaching and applied it right away. It was extremely impressive that there was so much purpose and intention on their end to execute what we were trying to do. So I saw that defensively and was happy, and then offensively, with Isaiah, we know she can put the ball in the hoop, and then she started finding cutters and distributing, and so was really excited for her that way. And then, finding Maddie and Nettie some minutes here and there, I thought they were fine. It's your first opportunity at this level. You can't expect everything to happen all at once. And again, we have so many people in camp. They've been playing with all different combinations, so you can't expect it to be smooth right now. So that was my message to them, just to continue to have patience. But was impressed with just their effort and ability they all look like they belong. I don't think anyone stood out in any type of way. So,
Coach, you said this team has been together for a week. You can say that about the majority of the roster, with only 3 returning players. You talked about the basketball side, but outside of basketball, how have you assessed the team's ability to come together with everything being so new?
Yeah, I think that happens organically over the course of a season. And for us, it's the balance of emphasizing it and creating opportunities for them to continue to build, because the more connected we are off the floor, the better we're going to be on the floor. And at the same time, not forcing it. A lot of those things, when they happen organically in their own ways, those bonds come even stronger. So that's the balance that us as a staff are always feeling out. Creating opportunities for them to do that while also not making it feel forced.
On that note, you talked a lot about simplicity of plays today in practice. Is that kind of letting them figure out how to play together before you put a lot of structure in, or are you trying to add more structure week by week?
Feeling it out, right? Threw a lot at them early, and then now today was really about, we didn't really do anything new today. It was more about cleaning up the finer details, because I still, we don't need to overcomplicate it. We've got really good players, but we need to dominate our initial spacing and structure. That way there's a level of predictability to where they know how the floor looks, they know where their teammates are going to be, and now they can go and do what they do. So finding what that looks like.
After looking at last year's offense and looking at your offense this year, it appears that you have it to where when you pass the ball, you want somebody to move. You don't want it to stick. You don't want the ball sticking at all. Like when somebody passes, you want them moving right across the court to get somewhere else. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, lots of emphasis on getting to next actions and also shifting the defense, right? So, I mean, the more the ball's in one place, the more we pound it, the more the defense loads and loads and loads, and it makes it harder to score. So, and we understand at times, like, we got players where you have to let the ball stick. Like, yes, Arike, go ahead, let it stick for a little bit, let her do her thing. Can we get movement and spacing around her? Paige, let it stick. Like, so again, everything we do, it's going to be a balance, finding it. Let it stick at times, and then at times challenging them to get off it and move it.
You mentioned Arike. What goes into that balance of letting her do her thing on the ISOs while also wanting to get into your actions instead of setting up the offense?
Yeah, it's conversations, it's film, but ultimately it's the trust and respect that all these players have for one another. That they want to play together, they want to play a brand that is free-flowing, that everyone has equal opportunity, and we understand everyone's roles and who needs to probably take some more shots than others. So all that's going to work itself out, and my job is to poke and prod and nudge and guide and help them when we start to steer kind of off course.
Paige had mentioned screen navigation as an area to she can improve. How much of it is nuances of not just like the physicality, but also like when someone's going under, you expect a rescreen, just learning tendencies that other teams are going to put out there?
Yeah, a lot of that is going to be scouting, but I think first that was their first game at this level, and there's just it's a different level of pace and it's a different level of physicality, right? When you've got Asia Wilson, Kia Stokes setting big time screens on you, that's not easy for anybody. It's not easy for the best defender in the world. So it was great that they got to experience that right away. Like, this is what it's going to be like. So you got to give more effort, and we got to help them and put them in positions to be able to do that. So again, all five defensively. Her navigating, but understanding that she's going to have help in spots to be able to give her a little more time to navigate and get in front.
You've got the GEM program out here today. There's been obviously a lot of community support and excitement around this program. What do you think the capabilities are for this to become, DFW's team this summer and really grab the community's interest?
Yeah, that's one of our pillars organizationally, right, is serving the community. So any opportunity we get to give back, and especially for these young girls to be around our women and be able to see that this is what they can do and the opportunities that they have ahead of them, is we don't take that for granted. So all sorts of gratitude and appreciation. These events hit deeper than you think.
You're going to have to make some cuts pretty soon.
Kurt's going to have to make some.
Kurt, okay. What is it that just organizationally that y'all are doing?
Yeah. The identity that we're trying to create is where we want to establish this everything with gratitude and appreciation. We want a certain level of effort and intensity, and then we want everyone to be stars in their roles, and all those roles are different. So when you're looking at piecing the rest of this roster together, it's how do they fit in basketball? Yes, and also to the culture and to the locker room. So it's really holistic in terms of how we establish the entire roster.
How's Ty coming along with her injury?
Yeah, day by day with Ty, but she's doing more and more each day. So we'll look to see her back on the floor full go pretty soon.
for you to have your coach show up for your professional debut?
Everything. She actually thought the game was in Vegas at first, so she wasn't gonna come, because they have other things going on campus. But I got a text early that morning. She said, "Maddie, you have any tickets?" She was like, "I found out the game was at Notre Dame," so she got a flight that day, drove from Chicago, came to watch me play, and met everything happening. So shout out to Coach Yo, he's just always showing up, no matter what, always showing up. It's bigger than basketball.
What's the biggest advice that Coach Yo has given you?
Just to go after everything I want. There's a certain level that you have to get to. My work ethic. She was on me, my whole career. Just about, putting in everything that I want to receive. Putting in good things. Building good habits each and every day. It's all about what you deposit. You can't expect to take anything out if you're not depositing anything in. So she's been on me about that to this day. So that's why I make sure I come in and work hard each and every day.
Getting drafted, you got drafted. That's a big deal. This team believes in you. What does that mean to you? And also, what's your mindset heading into training camp last week and into the preseason?
It means everything. First of all, to be drafted and to be drafted here, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. I love being here. Each and every day has been filled with memories, experiences that I never forget. And it makes me want to give my all to Dallas. It makes me want to give my all to my teammates, coaching staff. So I'm just excited, taking everything one day at a time, but I'm excited for everything that's to come.
Playing in college, what were the biggest lessons that you learned heading into the WNBA?
Just that everybody's good. You're around great players. Look who I'm playing with. Enrique and Paige and Dejanay, you've been on the list. Everybody on this team is capable. Everybody on this team are great players, So how can I come in and impact winning? How can I come in and just try to be the best that I can be? I'm new to this, but I'm just trying to, again, one day at a time and just trying to impact winning and show my teammates that I have their back.
It's a really young roster in a lot of ways. How special is it for you to be able to be part of a foundation and you guys all grow together?
It's so special. Everybody's new, like you just said. Everything that we're doing is new, which kind of means everybody's starting off in the same place. But the good thing is we have vets. I call Hines Allen my vet. Every day, and she's guiding me every day. Helping me out, giving me pointers, just helping me be the best that I can be. So with that newness, having vets that have been there before, that are experienced, that are willing to help, their rookies come along, it's just going to make us stronger and build that camaraderie. So it would be way harder without our vets. So shout out to our vets for just pouring into us each and every day.
Do you have any preconceived notions coming into this season about these women that you played against in college, or maybe what surprised you about one or two of these fellow rookies?
I'm a basketball fan. I've been watching them since I was younger, watching them all throughout my career. So seeing how, willing they are. From the outside looking in, you don't see how willing they are to pour in to us young rookies, From me just watching, they're out there, they're hooping, but seeing them come in again, and this is their job. They're trying to secure their job, but they're taking time to help me, to guide me, to give me pointers. It shows a lot about them and their character. It shows a lot about the people that Dallas brought here. They brought good people, that's willing to help everybody be successful. So, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. I'm so happy to be here.
What is your why? What gets you out of bed every day? What's your motivation?
London, Summer, and Zion. My siblings, my three siblings. I'm the oldest. Those are my babies, and they're different. They're not into sports. One's artistic, one's into technology. They're different, but I just want to show them that they can do anything that they put their mind to. So that's what gets me up each and every day. Knowing that my siblings are looking at me, knowing that they got to get through college, knowing that I want to support them, in any way that I can. And, they always hit me up for money and stuff like that as well. So just making sure I'm in a position to provide for my siblings and show them the right way. And I'm going to get up each and every day with that, in the back of my head, and that's going to push me through the good days and the bad.
I know you talked about Maisha helping you out as a vet, but Maisha and Enrique has nothing but good things to say about this rookie class. Just what are your thoughts on just your fellow rookies and just having that encouragement and the words from those vets?
Rookies are great, we're very close, actually, very close, and every day we're pouring into each other as well. Just seeing JJ emerge the way she did last game, I was so excited, and that's again, I sound like a broken record, but I just want to continue to harp on the fact that this is a selfless group of people, and it's a great group of people filled with great people, you know what I'm saying? So Dallas really went out and found people that are selfless, that are willing to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and you see that. So you saw the bench erupts when JJ, did so well yesterday, the day before yesterday. But it's just a testament again to how close we are, how much we want each other to be successful. So although, we're out here competing every day and fighting for, jobs and positions, everybody's pouring into each other. So great rookie class, but also a great group of vets to help guide us. And that's why, we're going to be successful.
And just what are some examples that the veterans have maybe taught you or ways that your game has benefited from this experience with the Wings so far?
Just to never stop playing, next play mentality. Listen, guys, I make mistakes, all the time. But again, my vets are telling me, next play, Madison. It's all about what you do next. Try not to make the same mistake again. You're not going to be perfect, but how can you make sure that you're still impacting winning? How can you make sure you're still being a good teammate through all the ebbs and flows, through all the ups and downs of the game? So that's what they've really been harping on. So that's what I'm out there for. I may turn the ball over, but I'm going to be the first person back, trying to get the ball back for my team. Just next play, and just impacting winning, build good habits.
Did you show me the tattoo of your sibling?
Yes. London, Summer, and Zion.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It's not done. Eventually it'll be complete, but those are my babies. That's who I do everything for. They have my heart. So, yeah.
What would you take away from that first preseason game, both on a team and individual level?
Say it one more time, I'm sorry?
What did you take away from that first preseason game, both on a team level and just for yourself?
Well, first, that atmosphere, was absolutely amazing. I had to really sit when the starting lineups were called and they were playing the video of Enrique, and I'm looking at the crowd and I'm just like, wow, this is my first WNBA game and hopefully many more to come. And all I could do was thank God in that moment. I wouldn't be where I am, without him. I wouldn't be where I am without my village. I was filled with so much gratitude in that moment. And I wanted to keep experiencing this. So again, that was more motivation to come in and work hard, and to go after everything I want because I want to experience more feelings like that, more games and just more memories that I'll never forget.
You're awesome. That was a good way to start your preseason, I'd say. Just what was the mentality going into that game for you?
Honestly, just to have fun and kind of learn everything, soak everything up, and find comfortability in the plan and the W.
JJ, everybody knows your defensive reputation, but for you to have that kind of performance on the offensive end, what does that show people?
I think it just shows my ability to play on both sides of the ball. I think I love defense. That's where I thrive at. And then that defense leads to offense. And it just, I'm a rhythm player, so once that defense starts going, I can start putting the ball in the hoop.
How confident were you going into that first game? Because it certainly came through on the screen.
I was pretty confident. That first time I went in, I had a couple nerves, which are normal, but then I kind of settled in, got comfortable, and yeah.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned playing in college that you can carry into the WNBA?
I would say that you got to take every moment for what it is and enjoy every moment, and then learn from everything, mistakes, perfection, anything that you do good, anything that coaches say, players, you just got to learn and soak everything up.
How do you feel you're kind of getting chemistry? Obviously, a lot of new faces on this program, you being a rookie. How are you guys coming together as a team?
I think we look pretty good defensively. I think he's trying to just make us play a lot more aggressive, which kind of getting better today. I think we look pretty good today. Then offensively, we just want to flow, speed, pace, and all that. So we got a good group of girls that can do that for sure.
Who did you learn the most from basketball, and what did they teach you?
You talking about like family-wise?
Family, coaches, anybody who's inspired you?
I would say my father. He's definitely been the person in my life who has supported me through everything, and I didn't see him come out of the windworks from a lot of things. So yeah, just looking up to him and his ability to just be resilient and take everything on head.
What's the biggest lesson you taught you?
Yeah, for sure.
The resiliency?
Yes.
Biggest lesson.
You're defensive player in the year in the Big 12, but not somebody that a lot of people are talking about coming into the draft. You kind of have a chip on your shoulder playing?
I mean, a little bit. I'm just excited to be here. I love playing basketball. That's what I'm here to do, and I'm going to do that.
On social media, I know, I'm going to stop you putting social media, but everyone was saying that Coach K would have to think long and hard before leaving you off with the wings crossed. How do you feel about that?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm confident of my ability to defend and score the ball and be his backup point guard. Whatever he needs me to do, I can do that. So I have that confidence in me, so hopefully I should be on this roster for sure.
Which players did you grow up watching or try to play like?
I would say men's, probably like Kyrie, Devin Booker, and then both the Kelseys. So yes.
From a developmental standpoint, what are some of the areas in your game that you're focused on when you're working on the court?
I would say now, since I came from college playing it too, now it's just learning how to facilitate a little more, and then hitting that three ball. Definitely got to get that off the three, off the catch and shoot. So working on that for sure, and then facilitating.
What about Devin and Kyrie's game specifically? Have you taken away and adopted as your own?
I would say Kyrie, his handles and his ability to finish at the rim, and then Devin Booker's pull up for sure.
How much have you enjoyed in practice being able to guard some of the talented guards that are on this team?
Oh, I've loved it, honestly. I mean, I'm a person who looks forward to playing defense, and if I can guard one of the best scorers in the country, I'm going to love it for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.